Right, so we have made it obviously to Disneyland Paris. We're in our hotel room. This is actually the end of the next day, so we've actually already been to the parks, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to talk about it yesterday, so we thought, get the nice day out of the way, and then we'll tell you what happened with our travel day. So, do you want to start?
Well, so we got to the Eurostar. We left home at about 7:30 yesterday morning. Our train was from St Pancras at 11:04. As we got through security, it was quite busy, busier than usual,
very busy.
or busier than it has been.
Because of what's happened, I think.
And there was an announcement to say that Eurostar trains were expecting a 45 to 60 minute delay, but then they didn't say anything about it again until quite a lot later. And this was about 9, 9:15, so we still had like nearly 2 hours to go. And then all of a sudden they said, right, your train is definitely 11:04 isn't even going to get here until 20 minutes later because the previous train coming in was delayed because of so there was basically a signal failure in the tunnel, which meant that there was only one lane in the tunnel open.
Yeah, so basically not only was our train going to be delayed from when we took, it was delayed for us being able to get on it by 20 minutes, and then there was a 30 to an hour minute delay once we're actually on the train this side of the tunnel, or England's side of the tunnel.
Yeah.
That was that. But then to that we changed at Lille, so we've gone from St Pancras to Lille, and then Lille to Disneyland Paris. But our train from Lille to here, Disneyland Paris, we had 35 minutes to meet it.
Yeah.
So they said that we're just not going to meet the train. We missed it by about 35 minutes, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm glad that we missed it by more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that would have been even annoying. But that's when these things happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then that's where our issue really starts. Eurostar, they were saying all over before we got on the train, Kirsty queued up for ages and got our tickets reprinted as like proper ticket stubs, stamped them all saying this is valid for whatever train you want to get on to Disneyland Paris. They're saying it's all fine and all the rest of it. So we were thinking, okay,
yeah,
our train was supposed to be at 2:30.
Like 2:01.
2:01, but then we got there about 2:30, and then the next train, the same as train line, was supposed to be going about 5 o'clock. Yeah. So we were prepared to go to the Lille Europe sort of shopping centre and just go around, get our bits for the room. And we was quite okay with that. And they said just go to the ticket centre there for SNCF and exchange your ticket, and it'll be fine. But then whilst we was on the train, then the constant messages were over the tannoy saying that we can exchange it for another train going from Lille Flanders, which is just about 5-minute walk away, which they said just go up and get the tickets. But then poor Kirsty was in the queue for about an hour before anyone knew what anyone's doing. They didn't know whether they were able just to change our tickets for free, which we were told that was the case, and it was the case, or whether we had to pay for them again. So lots of people in front of us were just paying for tickets just because they just needed to get there because they had little kids and kids were crying. There's no communication at all. And sort of you go in, as you probably know, there's the Eurostar office. It's like they haven't been there for weeks.
Oh yeah, it's like
completely locked up.
Ghost town.
I mean, considering that a Eurostar train was coming into that terminal, and there's going to be more going out into the terminal, they must have just known that there was a problem. Shut up shop, as if there was no one there. All over the tunnel saying, "I'll go to."
They kept saying, "Go to Hall 2, and just wait there, and somebody from Eurostar will be there." So I was in the queue at SNCF, which I obviously didn't want to get out of the queue because I'd been in the queue for like an hour already. So I phoned Ben and said, "You go down to Hall 2 and wait there just in case somebody turns up, and I'll stay in this queue." But no one turned up, did they? Like, just
no one turned up at all.
And no one from SNCF was actually letting us know what was happening. I had to ask somebody in the end, just say, "Look, what is actually happening?" And she said, "Oh, we don't work with Eurostar in the same way anymore. We're just trying to find out whether we can just let you on another train or get you on another train, and then, or whether you're going to have to pay for your tickets and get them reimbursed." So I looked at the options for getting like buying other tickets on the 5 o'clock train. They were £250 for 4 people.
Which is a lot of money considering we've already paid for the tickets.
Yeah.
So, and the tickets weren't cheap because we've come in half term.
Yeah.
So we've already sort of quite a lot of money into this trip without having to pay another 250 quid off the cuff for tickets that we've already got. And it wasn't our fault for a reason why it was cancelled. Fair enough, it's not SNCF's fault why it was cancelled, but the way that they dealt with it was horrendous. I think Eurostar and SNCF, they couldn't have dealt with that situation worse.
No.
There was just literally no communication at all. No one knew what they was doing from there. Eurostar were vanished. They wasn't anywhere to be seen. Then eventually they just said, go over to Little Flanders, get on a train. But that was literally 20 minutes before the train went.
Yeah.
And we was rushing over. We don't know where Little Flanders is. It was stressful, but we made it there. And what was the country, the train called? We something?
We Go.
We Go, like O-U-I, go.
We.
Got on a train, it was absolutely fine, but still, no ticket, didn't know where we're supposed to be sitting. They let us through absolutely fine based on our tickets that we already had. They obviously knew what was going on. But there was no, we just got on. I think they said carriage 5, but Mum thought they said Eurostar, and I thought they said carriage 5, but obviously in French and sort of.
Yeah, we have no idea.
But we just got on the first carriage, sat down,
got a chair,
and then we got moved around a couple of times because I do think there is some reserved seating and then some just sort of as you go. But it was all okay. Once we got on that train, it's a lot longer train than usual. But once we got on the train, it was fine. Didn't cost us any more money. But it did mean that we had to change our reservation. By the time we would have actually been in the park, it probably would have been about 6:30 by the time we got the tickets for them. So we can get them half price tickets effectively, can't we? It would have cost them £45 each for a couple of hours.
Yeah, it just wasn't worth it.
So, and then it kind of worked out well. It was Tuesday, his mum's birthday, and she definitely wanted to be in the park for then. But then we couldn't guarantee that we was going to get a ticket as an annual pass for the Monday, because although that there was availability for general sale, the annual pass only has a set allocation, and the whole time it's just been full. And we can only book 3 days at a time, so we did the first 2 and the last one, and we was hoping that at some point we'd pick up one for the Monday, which we had, and it was good. A little bit of controversy on that. So we was on the Eurostar. Kirsty was trying for about 20 minutes trying to get the reservation.
Ticket.
Yes, just kept refreshing it, trying to sort of see if the reservation would open up, because we cancelled that sort of the travel day's ticket the Saturday. We couldn't get in anyway, so then we thought, right, we need to get tickets for the Monday. Then they kept sort of stuff popping up and then disappearing, popping up, disappearing when we was on the English language version of the site. And I just thought, I wonder sort of if they're sort of trying to sort of be as PC as possible here. Sort of, obviously it's in France, so I just wondered whether there was going to be any kind of preferential treatment to the French side of the website to the English side. So we've tried it a couple more times on the English side, nothing was happening, and then it's either luck or it's just a very big coincidence. I changed it to France, and then there we go. Straight in, no problem, all done. I mean, it's probably not, but it was just a bit of a coincidence. I was joking, I was saying, oh, I bet now that I've changed it to France, they're going to let me book it because they think I'm French. And it's the French half term, so they're obviously going to be prioritising, actually most countries probably would, their own sort of nationals, I guess. But we did it. It was all in French, so I know kind of rough French. Kirsty knew the process because
I've done it so many
times and then it timed out and sort of got an error message. So we kind of knew the buttons that we needed to press, but then we got it. So that's a little pro tip. If you're ever trying to get it, just switch the language. When you're on the phone app, there's the obviously the 2 flags, Great British flag, Union Jack, and then the French flag. So it might be worth changing it to French and seeing if it works. That's a little pro tip. Don't know if it's a pro tip. It might just be a massive coincidence, but I think there's something a little bit more to it than that.
I reckon so.
But anyway, that's the reason why So you know we're here. I've taken a few clips of us getting here. Not much because it wasn't a very nice way
it was
to
stressful.
spend a morning and afternoon, considering we left the house at 7:30.
And we got here about 6.
Yeah. So it wasn't the nicest trip. So there's a few bits that I'll add in at the end here.
Normal business will resume in next week's video when we're actually at the
You'll be
parks.
pleased that we have been in the parks today and it's been a great day.
Yeah.
Absolutely rammed, but a really, really good day. We was going to do a travel day video, but our train was delayed due to signal failures. Kirsty's Cross, but what's worse is that our connecting train at Lille, we're probably going to miss that, and it means that we're probably going to have to wait until 5 instead of 2. So we're missing the first day, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hopefully. We might just scrape it. I reckon we're going to see it drive off as we get up the top.
Bien d'oublier à bord du train et attention lors de votre descente pour accéder au quai. Je vous demande une nouvelle fois de bien vouloir s'excuser pour ce retard et je vous souhaite un très bon après-midi. Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be arriving at Lille, Europe. If you are leaving us here, please remember to take all your belongings with you. And please
Yes,
take
means
care.
it's recorded. So finally got off of the Eurostar train. Now we need to go and exchange our train ticket for a slightly earlier train. So we're about 2 hours late instead of 4 hours late. Kirsty's run ahead to get tickets. So there's all the clips. That's it for this week. It's not a proper travel video. We usually try and show quite a lot of going from King's Cross to change, however we change, because at the moment there aren't any direct trains, so sometimes it's quite daunting. But hopefully you've been able to take something away from this, and hopefully if this ever happens to you, then hopefully it's been a bit of a help. So if you've watched this, you kind of know where to go, at least where the sort of thing is in the station, etc. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Next week's video will be much more positive, and we had a really, really good day. So tune in next. It's either going to be Saturday or Sunday, one of the days. Drop it a like, subscribe if you want to see next week's video, and we'll see you then.
Bye guys.
Bye bye.